Hi, my name is Brandy Hall. I'm the presidential candidate on Imagine Towson.
And I'm Charlotte Ridgway, and I'm the vice presidential candidate for Imagine Towson.
I'm Benjamin Mendelson, sometimes known as Raptor, and I'm the treasurer candidate on Imagine Towson.
Over here, my name is Glorimar Quiñones, best known as Glorimar, and I am running for Attorney General on Imagine Towson's ticket.
My name is Kennard Wallace. I'm running for Chief of Staff on Imagine Towson's ticket.
And all right, so we'll get started with the questions. What's your campaign platform?
Okay, so our campaign platform is Pride, Spirit, Purpose. Okay, so those three things are the three things we feel like are essential to a true, amazing experience at Towson. One, you need to have pride in where you are, spirit in the school and in its beliefs, and then purpose as being a purposeful tiger on campus, and that's what we believe.
And so if you could sum up your platform to a single slogan, what would it be and why?
I think we would sum it up to what can you imagine Towson to become? What is your ideal image of what you could possibly create in Towson?
Okay, why would that be?
Well, one, our name Imagine, it's for anything. A lot of students have a lot of concerns about the campus climate, concerns about what SGA is doing, and we want to be realistic in our goals. We don't want to fluff up any students and tell them what's not real, because that's what we are. We're a real group of students coming together, and our whole goal is for everyone to know who SGA is and what we do. So Pride, Spirit, and Purpose, those are 3 platforms. And we do have goals, initiatives in each one. But those 3 things are what we believe every Towson Tiger should be.
Okay. Well, we'll shift gears a little bit here. It's like this year SGA had to deal with some controversial matters, and if you guys are elected, how will you plan to respond to those incidents in the future?
Okay. Well, I think this is good for me and Kennard. Kennard, as potential chief of staff, our goal as a ticket is for all of us to be clear on what SGA is. So a lot of people like to talk about transparency, but it's never followed up with. If elected, we would create a Towson SGA blog, and that blog would be run by all of us on the executive board, basically following through with what we said we would do. Communication, or fluff it up, just give what the real comments students have to the President Lushy, hopefully.
I can just interject. Yeah. When we established this ticket, we wanted to pick members that were serious about the business of promoting diversity and acceptance. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Promoting the business of acceptance. If you look at people on this ticket, we come from different backgrounds. We have 2 members who are on the Union in the Community Forum. I'm a programming for the Office of Student Activities and Disability Programming Committee. We have senators, we have current executive board members who are all about promoting diversity, acceptance. And when we thought of the word imagine Towson is just a substandard word. If you put imagine anything after the colon, imagine diversity, imagine acceptance, imagine a community, you can plug any word after you want after that colon. And that's why we came with the name. And that's why we picked every single person on this ticket, because we are about the business of promoting acceptance, community, and diversity.
That's so true.
We're a little back before the Imagine part. There are some things that SGA have already done. What are some of the things that, or one main thing that you keep from this year's SGA that they've implemented into the next?
Well, Charlotte and me, since we're already in SGA, she would definitely know. But the one thing we definitely want to continue is the discount cards. Those, and Ben too, he knows. Ben is the currently appropriations chair, so I think he fits perfectly with the treasurer position. But we had created a deal with a company that would last the discount cards up until December. And so we would, if elected as an executive board, we would renew that deal. And that's one of the main things. And I know that Kennard has a deal he's trying to create that will also benefit Towson students.
Let's see. So, like I said earlier, there's been a lot of conflict lately. What is one of the largest concerns you believe the SGA will have to confront no matter who's elected?
I think and anybody can chime in if you want, I think the largest concern is the worry that SGA is not reacting to the hate speech or bias or discrimination on campus. And that's why one of our main initiatives is President Leshke. She's creating a presidential task force against bias and discrimination, and she's also creating a student task force. And that student task force is 22 undergraduate students. I'm assuming that that would include the SGA president and other student leaders on campus, and her presidential task force would include one undergraduate and a graduate member, which I would assume would be the SGA president for next year. So we want to work directly with that. That's been a main issue this year, and I don't want students to wonder if we're going to respond or not. Like, we're real students just like you in the same scenario, experiencing the same type of hate speech, and we want to give that direct realness to administration.
If I may, we also want to, we also talk to administration. We also want to make it sure that events happen that also unify the campus. Right now, there's a lot of events going on, a lot of cultural diversity events, but they're not really working together. And that's why I think we all want to create a collaboration fund. Mm-hmm. And what we're going to do in the budget is we're going to set aside this money, and groups can have access to it, as long as they work in collaboration with another group. Imagine if BSU and Hillel were to work together. That would bring two entirely different networks of friends together for an event which they wouldn't really socialize under normal conditions. And they would be sharing these experiences, building relationships, crossing boundaries, and creating a more united campus. Where you have such a diverse campus, so many different people from so many different backgrounds, but if we're not sharing those experiences, coming together, what's really the point of all that diversity? And that's something we all feel so strongly about. We can just go on and talking about how many things we've learned just from.
I think it's, just real quick, I just think it's very important, and we all realize this, that what has happened this past semester does not stay at this past semester. It needs to go on to the next school year, that we don't forget about everything that has happened within 2 months or 3 months. That we don't forget in the summertime, oh, that was just something that happened last semester. It needs to continue, and I believe President Leshke is doing an awesome job with that, and that was the purpose to start this new force.
Yeah.
And so we all believe that strongly.
And I guess there was a trend last year in terms of SGA and senators and how some had we even were replaced. How would you combat the inevitability of losing members like that that are part of the SGA family when they resign?
That's what I really want to encourage students to know, is that SGA is a family, and it's not in it if you're not in it. So if your heart's not in it, you're not going to get 100% out of the experience. And I know we had a lot of turnover rate with a lot of new senators, and I'm excited to know that some senators are coming back, but even with the new ones, those need to be just as accepted as well. And I know that Charlotte, if elected, I know she's going to do a wonderful job to be the new mom of our senators. And even us and ourselves, I think we're a pretty accepting bunch of people. I know Charlotte's planning on doing fun things of intertwining us and not only senators with their student groups, but senators with us, so they feel comfortable. But we as a group, we need to remind that we're a family, and all the hard things that we experienced this year, no one will understand the special bond that we have together. And that's what I want to create for the next year.
Yeah, and I will be working closely with the senators and, being their mom. And, I just want to, make sure they know that I'm there for them. Even if it's just, going to a student group, they might not know anyone in the student group, and they're going to have to go and introduce themselves. And that's really nerve-wracking, I know, as a senator right now. And you have to go to a lot of those. So, I will go with them. I've been through that. I might even know some of the presidents, the student leaders of these groups. So just, making them less nervous, making them more comfortable and confident in the tasks that they have to do.
I suppose my last question is, if you guys aren't elected, how will you remain involved in SGA and the initiatives?
Okay, so we can go down the line. I'm a really involved student. If not elected, it's not going to change how I feel about campus. I'm a devoted student leader, devoted to everything that Towson has to offer. And I have been since I've been a freshman here. So not being elected to this position is not going to change my initiatives, our initiatives. I honestly feel like all of us together, we will continue to strive on to the forward goal. And that's for us to be heard and for students to feel comfortable on campus, because that's the main concern. So.
Yeah, we can all still be part of unity in the community and possibly the task force next year if we're nominated or however that will work. And we are all still involved as student leaders. Glorimar and I are both on the exec board for Latin American student organizations. It's some of these diversity situations that people have been put in that can still transfer to our members and our group, and we're still taking care of the students in that aspect.
Greek life of us too.
Yeah, as well as Greek life. You know, I'm an officers council for Tri Delta, so you know, I have a family of sisters that need my support as well.
Ben?
I recently started a student group, little plug-in, I guess, Students for Education Reform. So it's kind of my passion, just education and things like that. I'm also involved with Kappa Sigma fraternity and several other smaller groups on campus, and I want to continue working with those. And I'm just so passionate about all of these things. I'm just excited.
Yeah, as we all are very involved on campus, and I'm little by little learning more about the SGA, and it's a wonderful thing. It's kind of a shame that I hadn't realized how much SGA has to offer. So I am excited. If I do not get this position, I'll definitely find my way around the SGA some other time.
And from my perspective, I'm also a resident assistant in Tower D. I hope I'll be returning next year. So advocating for student concerns has been a goal of mine ever since I was a building rep in Tower C my sophomore year. So I would continue just that passion to inspire other students to be better for themselves, to seek a solution for themselves. Because if somebody comes to me with an issue, I'm the type of person that, okay, how do we resolve that issue? But a true leader aspires to inspire somebody to find that issue for themselves. And that's a quality that everybody on this ticket, not only myself, holds in themselves. So if we're not elected to the SGA, executive board, that passion doesn't go away. It only enhances if we are elected. But if we're not elected, I'm sure that fire would not be watered down. Absolutely not.
About everybody, thank you so much for coming to talk
Thank
to us.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so much. So it's Imagine Towson.
Yes.